You're listening to the Home Renovation Contractor Marketing Podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping your service-based business grow and thrive using the latest technology and internet marketing. And now, here's the host of our show and the CEO of Grow Inc., Matt Law.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another part of our training series. And in this episode, we are going to talk about the ultimate welcome package. And so this is a tool that you can use to educate your customers and your prospects, really the people that are interested in getting a quote. And when you show up to meet them and to go over your solution to your service-based business, this is exactly what you can provide them in a hard copy. So the problem in service businesses is when you are on a sales call or you get a quote request online, what do you give to these people? And they've gone ahead and requested a quote on your website, and you're showing up at the house. What do you give to them? And this is what I'll tell you with this. If you will do what we share in this training about providing an ultimate welcome package, you will increase your conversion rates. So let's say right now you're closing maybe 4 out of 10. If you were able to get that number to go to 5 out of 10, you could grow your business without adding any marketing, simply by converting more customers. And it's really important how customers feel about you from the very initial quote when they fill out a form on your website, or if they call you and you add them to your database. What do they get right away? And then what do they get when you are there at the house giving a quote? So what sets you apart from your competition? If you're not the salesperson and you have salespeople for your company, when they go and visit, what do they give them? And for most service companies, it's probably just a business card, and an ugly business card at that. If you're really on the high end, you may have a trifold brochure or maybe even a folder. But I'm going to tell you, if you're not sharing your unique selling points or the reasons why your customer should work with you versus your competitors, if you're not sharing with them the why, you're not doing enough. And so this training will be a little bit short because it's easy to understand, but the solution is that you need to create an information package about your company. And basically, this information package shares exactly why they should work with you versus your competitors. And typically, I suggest that this is created in a small folder, not the regular size folder that holds 8.5 by 11, but you want something that's about half of that. It's smaller. It needs to be professionally designed. It doesn't have to be amazing, but it should have your logo on it, maybe your website and your phone number, and it should have a place for a business card slot. Now, inside of that folder, you will have a business card. And what I suggest is that you do spend more on whoever is front facing for sales. And so I would put on their picture. I would get a professional picture if you can. I would use high-end, either glossy or spot UV coating on it. I would make this business card look really great. It should also match the folder. And so here you've got open it up. You've got this nice business card on one side. You've got a beautiful glossy folder. And then inside of it is going to be inserts. And these inserts fit perfectly inside the folder. And I'll kind of go through what we do for clients and what I suggest for you. The first thing should be a welcome letter. And it's like, hey, thank you so much for your interest in working with us. We really appreciate the opportunity to serve you. Inside of this folder has everything you need to learn more about us. So that's the first insert. The second insert should be a list of your company's unique selling points. And at the top, what we usually do is put how we're different. And we'll talk about our warranty. We'll talk about our reviews. We'll talk about our background check to contractors. We'll talk about if there's any certifications that company has, or if the amount of experience they have versus other people. So we really share a whole lot of information that sets them apart as being unique. Those are their unique selling points. And so whenever you're coming up with your unique selling points, you're going to have multiple ideas, and those all together become your overall marketing message. So that's the first thing that they get and they see after that letter. The second thing that they're going to see is your reviews. And these are testimonials. Basically, these are reviews that you can pull off of Google. And what we want to do is we want to take the absolute best ones. And this is sometimes front and back on that flyer. And it's got all of the amazing reviews. We try to put a city in there if we know which city they're from. So it should be all around the local geographic area that you are working. And so it's like, hey, there's a guy from here, here. And these are all their neighbors. So first thing, you've got your unique selling points. Then you've got all of these amazing Google reviews. The third document is that we have other services. So when you are first selling somebody on one service, and let's say you are doing a floor, you're a flooring business, you're doing a floor for them and they're thinking about just doing wood floors, but maybe they don't know that you provide this other service. Maybe it's concrete coating outside for their garage. And so you could talk about bundle and savings. So we usually do another flyer that has other services depending on the industry where people can bundle and save. So you've got a list of your unique selling points. You've got Google reviews, started off with the letter from the owner, other services. So we call that bundle and save. And then we usually, for the last flyer, we'll put in financing options so people know that they can get financing. A lot of service-based companies that have larger jobs, sometimes people will want to finance it. And so with financing, you can talk about how the financing companies you work with and kind of link them over. What we normally do is put all of the financing options on a page on the client's website, and then people can go over there or scan a QR code. So you've got these 4 flyers. You also have a professional business card, and it's really encouraging the customer why you're better, a warm welcome letter. We're sharing unique selling points, letting them see reviews, talking about how they can bundle and save with other services that we offer. And then we talk about financing. Lastly, inside of the folder is a magnet, and it basically allows them to put our phone number on the fridge. So when you're doing a service job with somebody, sometimes there's calls back and forth. And so we put that in there as just a little something that hopefully they'll have to keep it on their fridge while we're working with them. The last thing that goes inside there is a special card. Now it's called a sports card where we usually order from. So it's not the size of a business card, but it's really thick and it feels like kind of like a baseball card. And on it, it says see our reviews or something like that, depending on the piece we're making, or like check out our reviews. And on it is a QR code, and basically it allows them to scan it, and then it will take them to a page on our website that aggregates all of our reviews. And so here's what I'll tell you. If your reviews stink right now, that's something you got to work on, and we'll talk about that in another training session. But we work to get our clients' reviews up higher. And basically, if you can just get enough good ones, it can outweigh the negative ones. But most on average, our clients have 4.7 and up. They don't always start there, but that's where we want them to be. And so we'll give them these review cards. They'll go over to the website and they can see some of the best reviews we have. So a lot of these flyers and inserts, these pieces that we put together, we'll put QR codes on them. And QR code is basically, it's a little specialty barcode that you can scan with your phone. Most of you probably know what it is or have seen one. You scan it with your camera, click on it when it opens up, and it will take you to a page on their website. A tool you can use, and I'll just share this with you freely, is called QR Code Monkey. You can create free high-quality QR codes there. And so we use those, and then we will kind of track them. Now, remember when we talked about measurable marketing? Well, obviously, you could pass on UTM data on those QR codes. And as people visit your website, you can actually see how much traffic you are getting from your welcome package. So I just shared with you this insert, this folder, this formula we use to kind of wow the customer right away when our salespeople show up. But what you may not know is that is not usually the first time that they have seen that information. So when people go on a sales call, yes, they will bring a hard copy. And if I were to tell you how much it costs to make 1,000 of these a year, say you got 1,000 sales calls a year, these are for larger jobs. This isn't if you're servicing something small or a repair. This is like if you're going there to quote somebody on something larger. Say that whole year, it may cost you something like $2,000. And that's to do everything really, really well and get it printed. But what's crazy is if you sell, one or two more jobs per year out of 1,000, which you would do more than that, obviously, it would pay for itself many times over. And so this, I would tell you, is super duper important. But like I was saying, this isn't the first time your sales guy sees that. Whenever someone requests a quote online, or if they opt in for a free offer on the website, so maybe they want a design guide, well, we'll give them the design guide or the coupon, but we're also going to send them a digital copy of these PDF files. So they'll get the welcome letter, they'll get the testimonials, they'll get the USP, they'll get financing, they'll get all the other services that they offer for upsells that they can combine. And so they're already receiving these. So imagine when someone requests a quote on your website and boom, they check their email, there's an attachment, it gets sent to them as an attachment. And so you got to believe that people are going through this, because I'll tell you, most of your competitors are not spending the time to wow the prospect with a really powerful welcome package, what we call the ultimate welcome package. And so this definitely sets you apart. And it's something your sales guys will bring, but it's also something digitally you have as well. Now, imagine if someone calls in and schedules an appointment with your sales guy. Let's call him Bob. So Bob's going to go out and meet with this new homeowner, and you're going to quote, maybe it's a swimming pool, let's say. Imagine when the lady answers the phone, or whoever answers the phone says, hey, we got this guy going to come out to your house. He's going to give you a quote on everything. But when we hang up, is it okay if I send you over some information about our company? Well, of course, they are going to say yes. They've already been on your website. They picked up the phone to call you. And so when you are answering the phone and talking to that person, when you fill out the form and add them to your CRM, you push a button to say send welcome package. And then when you hit enter, it will text them and also email them that same welcome package. So it's sharing USP, sharing financing, all of that, answering questions that they may not even have known they had. And you are being very, very proactive. I will tell you, if you do that for web forms and the phone system, like answering phones and scheduling people and sending them this information, your unique selling points ahead of time, it will really set you apart and increase your conversions. So some common questions that I get regarding to this ultimate welcome package, or pushback, I will say, that I get from new clients that are saying, hey, do I really need to do this? And normally it's about, do I really need to invest in this? Because it's a couple $1,000s up front to get everything printed. And then I will just ask you, how much is one extra job worth per week? What if the guy's going out to 20, quoting 20 people a week? What if you got one extra job per week? Would it pay for that? So if you're doing 100 big jobs a year, what if we got just even a 5% increase on there and we got 105 jobs? What is 5 jobs worth? Well, if the average job is worth $5,000, then it gives you an extra $25,000 in extra revenue. But what I'll tell you is people hang on to these folders. They hang on to it. And why they do that is usually people are getting 2 or 3 quotes. So what if they're getting 2 or 3 pool company quotes or flooring quotes or septic system quotes? They are getting that folder and they're comparing it to all of the competitors, and everyone else is scratching something on a sheet of paper, maybe given a dirty business card, but these are professionally clean, nice, welcome packages. So I would say you're crazy not to do it. It maybe cost you a couple $1,000, but should generate, 20 times that in return. So it's not very expensive to do. And I would totally say it is something that you should invest in. If people come on as one of our clients, it's something that we say, no, you have to do this. This is part of the package. If they have something that's really nice, we may modify it and tweak it, but it really brings that much of a a return. Now, maybe you're new or you're a small business. Say, well, Matt, what if I can't afford to do this? Well, what I would tell you is that I would go to like an Office Depot and buy some nice folders. They don't have to be very expensive. Just get them all in the same color that kind of match your brand. Put a sticker on the front. Order some business cards that are nice, and then print out 8.5 by 11 inserts that are printed really nicely. So you can print that on any printer. I will tell you, just want to have something to give them that is professional, and it should share your unique selling point, your financing, your reviews, all of that. So if you can do this together, you say, well, that sounds like a super simple tip. It's a very easy thing you can do. And if you will do this and think about some of the questions your new prospects have and how you can solve those ahead of time, if you can do this, you're going to increase conversions. And by increasing conversions, you can increase your revenues and your sales without adding any additional marketing. So we're going to get into all of the marketing arsenal here in our training. But imagine if you just increase your conversion rates from, let's say, from 40% to 50%, like 10%, your business is going to grow substantially without spending any more money on marketing. And so the ultimate welcome package really has to do with setting your business apart. It's part of step number 1, say the right thing with your unique selling point, our formula for growth that we use, but it's a powerful formula. So as we kind of wrap up this episode, if you're listening in and you would like to learn more about Grow Inc., we created some really great resources for you. Our entire marketing formula for growing service businesses is written out. That's a 100-page book. And it goes through the 4-step marketing process to grow service businesses. We call it, it's labeled under different things for roofing contractors and HVACs, but there's about 11 industries that we really focus on. And for your industry, you can pick up a copy of this free book, 100 pages, instant download. We'll email it to you. You can also as you get the book, you can have it in Kindle format. We also have an Audible format, which will be read to you out loud, which is kind of cool. So tell you a couple of other things that come with the book. You'll also get access to our DIY checklist. So if you've been listening to the podcast and you're like, man, I want to implement this stuff, there's a checklist of the things that you need to do as part of the 4-step marketing plan. And then we also share a list of all of our tools. So I believe that's on that checklist. There's a company that we use for all of our printing. We suggest it to our clients, so you'll have access to that. So I would highly suggest that you dig in and you start working on your wow package, your welcome package for your sales guy, and to instantly deliver to your clients. Now, if you're listening in, you're like, well, Matt, I don't understand how to automatically deliver everything right to the people. I'm going to get to that later in our training. But for now, just have your sales guy bring it to them, and that will increase conversions right away. Now, in our next episode, we're going to kind of shift gears, and we're going to talk about local search marketing and how your business can rank in the map section of Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So people search for whatever contractor near me, flooring contractor, pool contractor, septic, electric contractor. They search for all of these service businesses near me. Well, imagine if you could be in the number 1 spot in Google. Do you know how many additional calls and website visits that would generate? So I really want to encourage you, this next episode, you're going to get a ton out of it. So keep listening, and thanks for hanging out with us today. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the podcast today. We hope you found today's episode helpful and informative. For more information about Grow Inc. and to request our free marketing blueprint ebook and other resources, please visit www.grow.inc. That's GRO.inc. We'll catch you in the next episode.